Why is the borders open though? Because the United States is in a real tough pickle right now. My generation, we worked hard. I worked for Verizon. But my kids, your generation, y'all not gonna do sanitation work, pick up garbage. Y'all not gonna be postal workers. Y'all not gonna be electricians. You're not gonna be plumbers. You're not gonna do constructions. Y'all starting podcasts. Y'all thinking about other ways of making money. What does that mean if these jobs are not being filled? They create programs for the migrants where they're giving them rent, they're giving them money. In Chicago, they have a program where they give them $9,000 every 6 months. So that's $18,000 a year for rent. That's an average of about $1,500 to $1,300 a month. That's good rent for somebody, right? So now they living in all these places. Your generation, your kids, y'all are not buying houses, bro. So you know what that is? Y'all not getting mortgages. United States needs people to get mortgages. Y'all are not going to college no more. Y'all not creating college debt. United States needs college debt. Y'all are entrepreneurs. Y'all are not joining the military. The military is depleted. That's why they're having things like proxy wars, where they got the drones dropping bombs because they don't have enough military. Y'all are not doing the things that I did, my grandparents did when they came here. So they bringing in millions of new people who are going to do these things.
Now I will never be your hater, I'm your biggest fan. I hope it falls into place just how you planned it. Life could put you in a pickle, just make sure it's kosher. Lean on me like Bill Withers until you smell the roses. What's happening, fam? L.A.R. movement still moving, right? Subscriber died trying. You see the thumbnail, more importantly, you saw the clip. And we got to talk about like what happened holistically, right? So you got America, over time raising the price of everything, screwing people over trying to at least make it to the middle class or make it in the middle class. So that's the ridiculous inflated price of college over the last 20 years, right? And then we got to talk about, say, right now. People are like, it's too many immigrants coming. Immigrants have been coming for a while. Okay. And why they're here. And it's like cheap labor. That's why they're here. But maybe a year, 2 years ago, we talked about quiet quitting, how a bunch of people were just quitting their job. Like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that. So, that old statement of, immigrants are coming to this country to do the jobs that Americans won't do. You're making it true. And when he was saying, the younger generation not wanting to do certain jobs, and it's really more hands-on jobs. And ironically, what you see now is people are telling the young generation, don't go to college, go to trade school, because that's what America needs. Now, here's the interesting thing. It's a good avenue to go to, but the irony of that is Americans, and you can say this for black men in America who are tradesmen, they were getting undercut by illegal immigrants. That's why you see all these construction jobs and this, that, and the third. You saw a lot of, illegal immigrants that you would assume was illegal immigrants, right? Roofing, construction, all kinds of stuff. With a couple of white supervisors that look like they, eat barbecue and drink beer all day, every day. So the black electricians and masons and roofers, slowly but surely got the boot, right? So now what? So when he says, these kids are entrepreneurs, these young men and women are entrepreneurs, that's the kind of overusing the term, because most of the people who are entrepreneurs are using social media to try to blow up, and it oversaturated the market. So you've had, young men and women who went to college and dropped out of college to be a social media influencer and kind of threw themselves under the bus. Then on the flip side, you had people who went to college and had great occupations, but they wound up having social media channels that blew up, and they quit their occupations because they made just as much money
with less time and effort, and it was easy to pay off those bills and loans. Now the irony of what he's talking about, we need mortgages, and they need student loans, and they need people to pay these things. Well, this constant rise of real estate, you cutting the younger generation off at the knees. And now what the younger generation, I think, has an issue with is, I'm in Gen X. So, and I can say this for even like old millennials. Um, we had no problems getting a shitty apartment, shitty cheap apartment. Like, but now people act like everybody's living in New York and L.A. and it's not like that. You could go to a bad neighborhood and pay cheaper rent. That's what we would do, but that's not what you want to do. So that's a whole nother thing in itself. But when people go, man, all these immigrants are coming, because these immigrants will go to shitty neighborhoods. You would use the assumption that even a bad neighborhood is better than where they came from, and that could be an assumption. But they're willing to, you know, not create a lifestyle that they can't afford. And the government subsidizes them. It's a whole other thing. But you gotta understand there had to be some type of backlash from the quiet quitting to the pandemic, when they had the rent moratorium, and people didn't have to pay rent and weren't paying rent. And all of these real estate corporations wanted their money back, and they tenants was living high on the hog, and people had a year of free money and didn't and free time and didn't do shit with it. Oh yeah, we finna get rid of you. Don't worry about it. Not to mention, we talk about AI. AI is taking over artificial intelligence, chat GPT, whatever you want to call it, the web 2.0, 3.0, whatever you want to call it, right? And you think about all these people who their definition of work is in a corporate environment, and those jobs are getting replaced by technology. So what are the migrants going to do? Manual labor. And like he said, are y'all willing to be on the back of the garbage trucks? And I'm gonna be honest. I don't know when the last time I saw. Damn, I don't know when the last time I saw a white guy on the back of a garbage truck. Real talk. Or even with a hammer or shovel in his, like actually doing the construction. Like if you're building if they're breaking up concrete, like when the people working without the machinery, I haven't seen one of them forever. So I think about stuff like this, and I'm like, people say I want to do this job, I want to do that job, and they don't really do anything. There's only so many of those jobs around, just like there's only so many spots on social media, right? So what did you expect the country to do? What did you expect these corporations to do? They also went abroad, not just because Americans are lazy, no, because truth be told, Americans work longer hours than most of the world. That's why if you're in America and you travel, you like, man, why y'all motherfuckers take all day doing shit? God damn. That's our thing, like, because we're accustomed to people working and working efficiently. But America got soft, man. Same thing when you say people don't want to join the military. Nope. I'm gonna get paid to go to war. Nope, not doing it. Not doing it. You know, and all of these, the government to the corporations, always finagling and finessing the situation, and stealing money from their employees, even if they worked hard and put in their money, firing people, just doing a whole lot of sucker shit. So now you're getting a free for all in society, and it's really killing the economy. And the bad part about it is the government and corporations, show their ass by showing how they treated the people. And now the people understand that there's no loyalty, and they don't give a fuck about them. And now the people like, I don't want to do that job, and the corporation like, well, we gonna have to get somebody else to do something. And now it's just a free fall, with a country in the debt on a downward spiral. So you can know where this is going to end, and it's not going to end well. So America is just, that 34 trillion might be 60 trillion in the next 3 years, just for the record. So that's what all that backstabbing and quiet quitting has gotten us. So you got to be able to live with that. And what happens when these generation of people have kids? Oh man, I think that's gonna be the generation of kids that's gonna have to take care of their parents and grandparents the way they going now, because motherfuckers is lazy. And that's the type of character of people like that, because we've seen that before. But where the older generation fucks off their life and expects the younger generation to take care of them, we're seeing the restart of that. But I'm done. You tell me what you think. Like, share, subscribe, or die trying. Catch y'all on the next one. Peace. You ever been at the top of the universe? I'm gonna tell you that.